Hello and welcome back to another video here with me, Meoni. Today I would like to talk about PvP again. If you saw my previous PvP changes video, link in the description, you would know that the experience was really great and an excellent way to level your ults. In the most recent of patches we got a fix to this that decreased the amount of experience per loss, yet remained the same for a win. So instead of being able to leech an AFK, you now have to fight to get your experience. Another area we didn't discuss was the feast. This small 8v8 arena style gameplay can be very enjoyable if you haven't tried it out, and new players amongst you can still obtain the limited edition titles and mount rewards by talking to the disreputable priest in the Wolf's Den Pier. Essentially, for those who didn't know, you can buy a full set of left side gear from the priest, including a weapon. You then ask her to inspect you and she will give you an achievement and a title. You then need to run a certain amount of PvP matches with this title on in both Feast and Frontline to get certain mounts, which we're going to look at shortly. This will be pretty much old news for most players, but what is interesting is that for a loss you receive 108,000 experience at level 66 and 324,000 experience for a win, which is actually not that bad considering the speed of which you complete the feast, be it a gloriously fast win or a devastating stomping loss. The experience per hour isn't actually that bad at all. Now to say this, the experience gained from PvE content and the new dungeons with a food buff and guild XP buffs on is just plain faster, but if you would like to get some mounts whilst you level, it could be a good excuse to actually do some feast again. Originally the Garo event was said to be a limited deal, with it potentially ending in late July, so it's likely that if you don't get them soon you probably won't get them at all past that point. And they are not that bad looking. They are achievement based, win 10 front lines with a title on and you get the Ginga Mount. This is a silver steed, it can fly and swim as well as obviously go on the ground, and is the easiest of the three to get. Secondly, we have the reward for 30 wins in the feast using the PvP title you have, the Goten Mount. This is the golden version of the previous mount but has a significantly different design. This absolutely was my favourite until I got the next reward for 60 wins consecutively in either feast, frontline or a combination of both, the Ginga Mount. This thing is cool, like a Cyclops robot horse with an awesome fantail of chains. It looks pretty badass and was definitely worth the grind. Now I gained quite a few levels out of doing PvP across the classes that I wanted to level, and think that considering it will likely not be available for, forever after this point, I would only kick myself if I didn't try to complete it. Now, with dungeon queues as they are currently, with DPS having to wait a considerable amount of time for a pop, with the fact they added, essentially 2 DPS classes that everyone wants to play in this expansion, PvP is strongly becoming a greater option, especially if you want to maximize your time outside of the main scenario if you're on your main character, which which will still be the best way to level, unless you're leveling an ult, in which case you're looking for things to do. This could be a good opportunity. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, please consider a subscription to be notified of when the next video will go live. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.